Yeah, so thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here in this lovely Friday morning, and I think this is kind of the largest and the most dense concentration of Zabbix knowledge in one place. But before I start talking about Zabbix, let me tell you thanks to our sponsors. So thank you very much to our gold sponsors, H5 Audits, HiNet Systems, IntelliTrend, EntityCom Solutions, Unirede Solutions, and Quadrata, as well as silver sponsors, Arc Systems, Infocom, MySQL, Netco, 3DS, Outscale, and SRA OSS. So thank you very much for your support, for being a good friend of Zabbix Summit, and you really make Zabbix Summit a better place to be. Yeah, thank you. That's sponsors. And just let me share a few numbers about this summit. This is the largest Zabbix event so far. We have close to 500 of participants from more than 45 countries. I think actually 48 countries to be exact. And I really appreciate those who made a very long way from, well, the United States, Canada, Brazil, Japan, China, Russia, Africa, yeah. So really, it's a real pleasure to be here. And also, this time you can notice some guys wearing T-shirts with the Zabbix team on the back. So those are more than 60 members of Zabbix team, and they are here, and we are here to help you. So if you have any questions, you have some, I don't know, some inquiries, you'd like to discuss Zabbix, you'd like to share your experience with Zabbix, feel free, yeah? Just come by, ask your question, and by the way, we have our booths and booths of our partners outside of the venue, so you're very welcome to be there as well. Zabbix is a universal open source enterprise level monitoring solution. And you obviously know that Zabbix is open source as Linux is. We use exactly the same license, so you can, well, basically enjoy all four freedoms of a free software. Basically, you may, well, do whatever you want with Zabbix, yeah? And regardless in what country you are, regardless of how deep is your pocket, you may use Zabbix. And I really like this. I really kind of enjoy what we are doing, because the result of our work can be used by anyone in the world. And enterprise level basically means that Zabbix can be well integrated into existing enterprise ecosystem. So for example, if you want to integrate Zabbix with an existing system you already use, like configuration management or ticketing system or some other system, well, you can do it thanks to Zabbix API, thanks to the plugins, and thanks to other capabilities of Zabbix. And of course, Zabbix is all about monitoring, and that's where we are. We are 100% focused on making the best monitoring solution. And of course, if you look at the DevOps cycle, we are in the monitoring space. We are there to verify that everything we put in production, like, I don't know, different systems or databases or end-user services or services to be used within our enterprise, they operate well. They deliver expected level of performance, and they are available according to our SLA. So Zabbix is all about monitoring. And just a quick recap of this year. What happened during this year at Zabbix? First, and I'm really happy to tell you that the number of customers and enterprise customers is growing thanks to effort of Zabbix team and thanks to effort of our partners all around the world. Yeah, so we have more and more enterprise customers, and we see that Zabbix really got a good traction in the enterprise world. And obviously the requirements of the enterprise customers are growing. Yeah, and this year we're introducing a new support tier. It's called Global to accommodate requirements of the most demanding companies, of the bigger companies, and most likely those are multinational companies. Yeah. So it's basically the Zabbix support without any limits. Now let me remind you about Zabbix 4.2. Yeah, so 4.2 was released in April this year, and it comes with a number of very nice improvements, which I think are really important for the future of Zabbix. We are trying to make Zabbix as universal as possible, and I think this is kind of the key point. We'd like to make Zabbix applicable to as many use cases as possible. So there is no specific niche we are particularly focused on. It's not about monitoring of servers. It's not about hardware monitoring. We are trying to build a really universal platform. And in Zabbix 4.2, we introduced some nice features like high-frequency monitoring using throttling. This is basically ability to detect problems as soon as possible. So problem happened, and after just 1 second, we know, okay, here is a problem. I also introduced some improvements for data collection. So in 4.0, it was a support of HTTP agent, and now we support data collection using Prometheus exporters. Yeah? So if you use Prometheus in your environment, okay, we may grab data out of Prometheus exporters. And the pre-processing was hugely improved in the 4.2 with the help of validation. So now we may validate the data we are collecting. We may do some error checking. And I think best of all, we are not limited to kind of Zabbix built-in capabilities in regards of data preprocessing. We may also extend it using JavaScript. So any logic in the JavaScript. So it really creates a very flexible framework for data transformation. We may take any data and transform it in a usable form for metrics and for low-level discovery rules. And enhanced tag management. So tags, event tags, and problem tags becomes more and more important. It just they add additional value to the events and the problems we generated. So now you can manage events on a host level, on a template level, and on a trigger level as well. This year, we introduced the support of new platforms. Actually, Red Hat has always been supported, but we just introduced support of Red Hat 8, okay, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. We now officially support the SUSE Linux distribution. We also support Raspbian Linux distribution, which is especially useful if you want to deploy and you want to build low-cost proxies based on Raspberry Pi type of hardware. So we have a distribution for you. And Docker, of course. Now we have, I don't know, I think like tens of millions of downloads of our official Docker images. Cloud. We'd like to be available everywhere, not only as a solution for on-premise use, but also for clouds. And Zabbix is now available as an image, basically one-click setup for AWS, Azure. It's about to be released in GCP and Google Cloud Platform. And Zabbix is a part of the marketplace on OpenStack, and OpenShift can be deployed on Kubernetes. And we are still working on a Zabbix SaaS solution. But Sergey will have a special talk about it. We'll discuss it, I think, tomorrow. And a few new operating systems which are officially supported. Windows has been officially supported for years, of course, but now we provide MSI images for Windows, yeah? MSI packages, which really simplifies deployment of Windows Agent in a Windows environment. And we introduced this year also official support of OS X, Mac OS X platform. So all those binaries, all these packages are available on our download page. Just go to zabbix.com, download, and you can see everything. As you probably know, Zabbix operates in 3 locations. It's Riga, where we are now. This is where Zabbix was born, headquarters of Zabbix. We also have our office in Tokyo, which was really successful thanks to the hard work of our Zabbix Japan team members and also our partners in Japan. I'm very grateful to Zabbix partners for their support of Zabbix in Japan. We also have our subsidiary in New York to simplify operations with the customers in the United States, and the United States is a really important market for us. And also this year we opened another office, a physical office in Moscow, where we have a very vibrant and active community of Zabbix users. So I think if you go to Russia and ask some IT guys what is Zabbix, I think nearly 100% knows what is Zabbix. So those are creators of Zabbix. So this is a brilliant Zabbix team, and I'm really proud and happy and pleased to work with these people. Yeah, with these engineers, QA, marketing, sales guys, support engineers, consultants. So that's the people who are making Zabbix, and that's how we look before release on 4.4. And this is after release of 4.4. Much more happy. And by the way, who is using 4.4 in production? Okay, maybe 2 or 3. Okay. All right, so yeah, I saw maybe like 20 or 30 people using 4.4. It's been released just a few days ago. Yeah, and it came with more than 30 of new features and improvements. But today I would like to focus on just a few of them, which I think are really, really important. Let's talk about Zabbix Agent first. I think you all probably know what is Zabbix Agent. So Zabbix Agent is a small piece of software. It's very efficient in terms of CPU usage, in terms of memory usage. You install it on different operating systems. Nearly all operating systems are supported. And it just gives you some information on operating system level, like CPU load, free disk space, maybe availability of different processes, some security-related things, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so it's very nice. It's a very nice piece of software. But what happens if you want to monitor, say, application running on this machine, say Oracle? Okay, so say we have Oracle database and we'd like to monitor Oracle database. So what should we do? And we have a number of options right now. We can deploy some scripts, shell scripts or Python scripts. Okay, this is obvious choice. And most likely we have to create some combination of the script and a cron tab job. Yeah, because we most likely we are going to collect tons of metrics out of Oracle. Yeah, and the script will take time to execute. Another option is to build a plugin. Yeah, so basically shared library that you connect to Zabbix Agent. Well, of course, it's not so easy to develop plugins right now for existing Zabbix Agent because we use a very low-level language, C language, so it doesn't work well for most of us. So what should we do? And actually, these are the challenges. So if I ask you, what would you like to improve in Zabbix Agent, in the existing Zabbix Agent, you will tell me, okay, I'd like to support of long-running scripts, or I'd like to have a parallel execution of active checks, or I'd like to have a more efficient framework for plugins. So what we did, we collected all those requirements. We thought about what kind of restrictions we have in the existing Zabbix Agent, and we redesigned it basically from scratch. And we built a new agent from scratch using Go language. Okay, and it's absolutely free of any restrictions we had before. So you can run long-running scripts. It provides a very nice framework for extension of the agent, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go deep into details on the Go agent. So I think today there will be a talk from I think Alex Petrov. So he will tell you much more details what is the new agent is about. The next, actions and notifications. Okay, say we have a Zabbix server, and we want to have a kind of integration with some ITSM system. Yeah, say ServiceNow or Zendesk. So what should we do? Again, we have a number of options: email, SMS, and script. Yeah, so emails for just normal notifications. We may send SMS messages again, and we can use scripts again. So scripts again, yeah. This is kind of the universal solution how to make integrations. And obviously we have, well, scripts are not so easy in productions because they have some third-party dependencies. We have to take care about the compatibility issues, not so easy to maintain, yeah? And that's why probably we have so many, if you're looking for integration of Zabbix with a service now, there will be many different integrations available using different scripts, different technology. So what we did in 4.4. So 4.4 comes with support with the webhooks, with the all logic expressed in the JavaScript. All right? So what does it mean? You mean that now we have a media type which contains all logic inside of it, written in a JavaScript. So now we can have a very kind of easy way to have integration with the notification systems who understand HTTP or HTTPS protocol, or ITSM systems. Yeah, you want to open a ticket somewhere. Well, you can write the all logic and put it into media type. And of course, if you want to stream events which are generated by Zabbix to external system, you may use exactly the same idea as well. So that's how it works. So this is a definition of a media type. Now we support a new type, which is called a webhook. Okay. Then you specify different parameters. In my example, I just want to be integrated with the service desk. So it's just sd example.com/API, just a pointer to external API. And then I pass some parameters like ticket name and maybe a ticket body. Yeah, that's what I want to pass to the service desk. And then the whole logic is here in the script, in the JavaScript. Yeah, it's just the last line. Or sorry, the first line of the script. Yeah, the script could be, of course, it is much larger. Yeah. So here is the whole logic, and then the best, I think, one of the best things about this integration is that it's two-way integration. Zabbix may accept information out of service desk. It may receive, for example, the ticket ID. All right, and that's why we have this process tags. We are ready to get information out of another side. And what we may do, we can create some menu entries. When you click on event, you will go straight to the ticket in a service desk system. So that's basically how it works. Say we have RabbitMQ, which is not available, with a few tags like data center, New York 2, and service, well, Redis. Oh, it's RabbitMQ. It's RabbitMQ here. And then what we do, we just have a media type service desk. And it communicates to our service desk system, basically. Yeah? So it would do some HTTP calls according to service desk API, and it will get a ticket back, like production 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this tag will be added to the existing problem. So we can see data center, service Redis, and here is our ticket number. Okay, and now, what goes next? Since we defined a menu entry in Zabbix, and this is actually how our problem looks like, and since we defined a menu entry in Zabbix, you click on the problem, and you could see a link to the service desk. So service desk issue prod 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You click on it, and you go straight to service desk. Service desk or Zendesk, or maybe to your message you put into a Slack channel, well, anything you want. Next is a built-in knowledge base. And you may ask, what? We are going to, well, integrate a knowledge base into Zabbix? It kind of makes no sense. But let me explain what I'm talking about. You probably know that we have two interesting fields in Zabbix. Is an item description and a problem description. So item description is there and problem description is there, and we may use these fields to tell users more what what is a metric is about, what is the problem is about. Yeah, so let's have a look at the problem details. There is a CPU I/O wait time, and I have no idea what is I/O wait time. Yeah, I just want to verify. And now, just straight from the latest data, there will be a question mark. You just mouse over on the question mark, and you can see this description. So this information is now it's much more visible to end users. We don't want to hide it anymore for administrator. It must be visible because it contains so much value. So, okay, this is amount of CPU has been waiting for I/O. And same for problem details. Say I have a problem, and I want to know what is this problem is about. Well, how to fix it, to maybe who is the contact person, or maybe who is the application owner related to this problem. Again, I just do mouse over, and I could see some kind of explanation. And this explanation goes from a template which we created. Yeah. So, and I think as time goes, the quality of the templates, the information we put in the templates, will be much more valuable. At this moment, we support text-only data, but I am sure it will be extended to support markdowns as well. Yeah. So to have a better formatting for your data. And standards for templates. Again, you may tell me, oh, another standard. We have so many standards already. Yeah, so we are inventing another one. Well, not exactly. If you look at Zabbix, actually at this moment we don't have any standards. Yeah, we haven't introduced any standards yet. Yeah, but now, so it's not about us. We are just introducing the first Zabbix standards or guidelines how to create the best templates. And we explain many different things. What needs to be monitored? What problems needs to be detected? What are the naming conventions? How we classify problems by severities, what kind of tags we should put there, and so on and so forth. So basically, we'd like to use our experience and put it on paper and tell our users, so this is how we think we should create the templates, what principles we should follow, okay? And obviously, the standard is something like a work in progress, yeah? As we know, as there will be new features of Zabbix that we can utilize, as there will be some maybe new techniques, how to do better monitoring, the standards will evolve in the future. And I really think that templates, they become kind of a knowledge base. Because if you look at the template, like template to monitor MySQL, it contains all information we need, and we know how to monitor MySQL. It contains a list of metrics. It contains a list of problems we'd like to detect. It tells us information about metrics and problems. It tells us what is more important, what problem is more important, what problem is less important. So I think this is really, really valuable. Visualization, just a little bit. We're improving visualization part in Zabbix. This is how Zabbix dashboard may look like, and you can notice some new things here. One is that now you may have just a headerless widgets without a header to save some space, kind of minor feature, but it's quite useful. The compact problem view. Okay, so you may have exact number of problems like in a horizontal way or vertical way. And I think this is very, very important that now we have aggregation of data. All right, so you can aggregate data using different function and so that it can be visualized differently. So for example, if you want to see how many transactions per second you have, transactions per day you have, you use a function like, I don't know, sum of transactions we made for a day, and you could see a bar graph. So now we support bar graphs in Zabbix. And a new storage option, finally. So It's last but not least, you probably know. By the way, how many of you know what is TimeScale? TimeScale database. All right, quite a few. Let me explain. So what is TimeScale database? TimeScale is an extension to just to normal traditional Postgres database. You take Postgres, you install TimeScale extension, and you get TimeScaleDB. And advantage of the TimeScale database is that it has partitioning built in. It is very efficient because it tries to keep information kind of up to date, the latest information in memory, and it does partitioning automatically, so you don't have to care about partitioning anymore. You don't have to use any cron tab jobs or any other scripts. It's all done automatically by TimeScaleDB and Zabbix. And it's performance-oriented database. It means that regardless of the size of your database, TimeScaleDB delivers a very steady performance. Okay, so you have maybe 100 gigabytes database, then it grows to 1 terabyte, and the performance will remain very, very, very comparable. Okay, so we introduced support of TimeScaleDB in April this year in 4.2, but now it is officially supported as MySQL, as Postgres, as Oracle, and DB2. Yeah, so you can use a TimeScale database. We are still looking for maybe a better storage engines because there is no kind of compact representation of time series data in the traditional databases, actually including TimeScaleDB. So I believe you may expect support of maybe a better and more efficient storage engines in the future. So why we are doing all this work? If you look at the Zabbix integrations, we have at this moment around, I think, 320 plus integrations available. It means that we can monitor all those solutions, or we can be integrated with these solutions. So what we did in 4.4, we actually created a platform or a framework so that Zabbix team and users, community customers and partners, they may create solutions for monitoring or monitoring plugins for our next generation agent from one hand. Okay, so if you want to monitor kind of your specific application, okay, so it's basically not so difficult task anymore. You just create your own plugin and integrate it into Zabbix agent. This is one side. From another side, we created kind of webhook-based integration with the messaging systems, notification systems, and the help desk ITSM systems. All right. So, and if we combine it with the support of the standards for templates, I think it's really very nice kind of ecosystems when we have the standards from one place, and from another hand, we also have the tools which allows all of us, which enables us to create a much better solutions for monitoring and for integration of Zabbix with external systems. If you want to learn, obviously it's just a few new features of Zabbix 4.4. If you want to learn more, there will be new articles in our blog post. There will be webinars which are already coming next week. Just go to our website /webinars and subscribe to webinars about 4.4. We will explain all minor details of the new Zabbix 4.4 there. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which appear to be very, very useful for many users. And just a few words about Zabbix 5.0. So 4.2 and 4.2 are not LTS releases. So 5.0 is going to be LTS, so it's going to be supported for 5 years. That's why we need to be maybe a little bit careful about what will be included in a 5.0. Yeah, and I believe we already start work on kind of finalizing our roadmap for 5.0, and I believe that maybe in a 2 or 3 weeks' time, the roadmap will be finalized and published on our website. So stay tuned, subscribe to our newsletter, and don't miss any events and news from Zabbix. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.